she just reached out and was like, I just want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Now, she was basically saying how she was a bigger girl and she didn't start making content and being an influencer until she lost weight, and she got a little work done. You know, so until she had the body, I guess, that she wanted or she felt like was acceptable. And she was like, I really commend you for, you know, doing it right now at, you know, the size that you are and being that representation for women who, you know, looked like us or look how she, you know, used to look. And I was like, you know, that really, it made me feel good. Like, I'm like, okay, you know. For me, it kind of means everything to be able to, you know, do what I do and be a representation for other women that look like me, you know, or is plus size or just not comfortable in their body, you know. Because it was something that I struggled with for a long time, like my whole life, like a lot of other plus size women. So I guess it's important for me because I don't see women who look like me online. I was just having this conversation with Rayvon, and I still don't see apple-shaped women, plus size women. Usually it's women who are about like size like large, extra large, and that's where, you know, the cutoff. That's plus size. So for, you know, women that's, you know, 3X, 4X, you don't get that representation. So I still feel like it's still a lack of that.
Okay.
And I think that's, you know, well, I ain't gonna say think. I know that's one of the reasons why I do it as well. And I, you know, make the content that I make on TikTok and Instagram and stuff because I don't see women who look like me. So I feel like there's women out there who need to see people who look like me. That's, you know, bigger, not just the, you know, what's acceptable for plus size women. So, you know, the flat stomachs, big booties, but you still wear, you know, an extra large. That's plus size to them. Not plus size. You know, the women that's 22, 24, 26, you know, like I said, 3X, 4X, they wear those type of clothes, like that size clothes. You don't get that. Like, and I feel like we need that representation. So
is that the proper name for it? Plus size, or I thought it was just plus size. I didn't know they was considered.
I'm not saying like plus size. No, it's just that I feel like it's a acceptable plus size.
Gotcha.
So like the women that are like on the smaller end of plus size, I feel like that's more acceptable than the women who actually have stomachs, you know, are shaped differently. So like I said, me, I'm considered an apple shape. So I'll carry a lot of my weight in my stomach. I ain't got no booty, I ain't got no hips, I ain't got none of that. So women who look like me, or women who have, you know, a bigger booty but have a stomach too. So not like when we go on like fashion sites and things like that, clothing sites, we see women who have small stomachs and a big booty, but they're a little, you know, heavier. They're a little thicker. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not realistic for the everyday woman. We got back rolls, we got stomachs, you know, some women have hips, thighs, butts. We are shaped differently, but we don't have that representation. There's not, if you go on a website, you don't see a woman who look like me that's modeling the clothes that wear a 3X. Like I said, they wear like a plus size would be like a 1X, extra large. You're not seeing anybody who wears a 3X, 4X modeling the clothes. So I feel like, you know, I am a representation for women, you know, who look like me, who don't have, you know, just a flat stomach, big booty, thick thighs. So I feel like it's important for, you know, us to see women who look like us online.
What was the thing that bothered you most? Like, because when we talk about comparison and shit like that, and you talk about the booties and you talk about the
so for me, my stomach and my booty, God decided not to bless me with any. Yes. Like you got her over here who just double cheeked up
on a Monday.
Like she double cheeked up, but God just was like, "No, I'm just not gonna give you no booty." Like, all right, cool. But so that was like an insecurity for me for sure, and then my stomach as well. So those were the two. Me being tall was an insecurity as well too. I had to get over that. Being the tallest person like in my class in like school, tallest girl. I was usually taller than the dudes too until we made it to high school when they started, hitting their growth.
Sprouting up.
Exactly. I had to get over that, and then me thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have to just date short dudes, I have to date short niggas, and I ain't gonna find nobody taller than me. Blah blah blah. Like I had to get over that.
I feel like I should be offended.
Why?
Oh, I'm gonna have to date short.
Why?
niggas.
But why we gotta date? But girls that's 5 foot can date a nigga that's 6'5". Like why we can't have no 6'5" dude? And I'm 6 foot. Like
You could have a 6'5".
but that's what I'm saying. Like so I had to get over that. Me thinking that I couldn't have someone that's 6'5". Yes, I can. I can have somebody that's taller than me.
Why would you think you can't have somebody that's
Because
taller
it's not
than
a
you?
lot of tall dudes. It's not a lot of.
It's hella tall.
But it's
dudes.
not dudes that good men that are quality.
Because tall niggas is cheaters? Are you calling tall dudes?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying quality. A lot of the average height for a man is what, like 5'9"?
I can't tell you that.
Might be like
I ain't
5'9". I'm 5'11". Like
Yeah.
with heels on, I'm what 6'2".
Yeah, you're a pretty tall person.
So that was something I had, just being tall. Like it was, got used to it not being a bad thing. Looked at it as a bad thing.
But when did you? Because I want to get back to that. What do you remember when you hit that spot when it was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna excel, and I'm gonna make it cool. I'm gonna make it the thing because I am cool. I am who I am. When did you hit? Then we'll go back to the other shit.
I don't know if I had like just a aha moment. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it was just I don't know. I think it was just me just probably me just stepping in and just really like I guess growing maybe more confident that I am good enough to do that. Like I can do that.
Yeah.
I can. Like I'm pretty, right?
Yes.
Like I can do that. So it's me, I guess, growing and loving myself more and growing more confident in who I am and what I look like, and being okay with how I look now, even with losing weight and being on a journey and stuff like that. Like being okay with who I am right now in this present moment, like not who I want to be, and me losing who I am right now today. Being okay with that and being comfortable with that.
Was any of it laziness?
For what
Did you ever get to a point where, man, fuck this workout shit, or fuck this?
I think for women, not women, people who are plus size or overweight, obese, whatever you want to call it. I feel like it's more of a mental thing, and sometimes we get in our heads, and it's really something you have to be dedicated to, consistent, and it's really because it's honestly like an addiction. You have to fight every day to make the choice not to eat a snack, not to give up, not to eat the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? To prep your meals if that's what you need to do. It's really something that you have to really stick with and be consistent with. And it is something that I do struggle with, and it's just hard. Like you really have to be. That's why a lot of people in the what is it called? Like the weight loss surgery is such a big thing right now. It's a popular thing for people to do because people, are realizing they need help losing weight. It's losing weight is, just a really hard thing to do. Like I said, you have to be consistent, you have to be dedicated. It's a choice every day you have to make. So a lot of people are choosing the, weight loss surgery because once I have this weight loss surgery, it's hard for I can't if I, eat something bad, I may get sick or my body is not going to, respond to it. So it's basically like forcing you to do kind of the right thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yes.
So when you're out here representing for real, like represent, you're not just like out here like I'm a big girl, do this, or I can only wear this. I can only, no, you're wearing what you want to wear.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like that online. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are fat phobic. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to see that. So I had a couple of videos that went viral, like, millions of views. And the comments are something you gotta like, just don't look at them. Like, because there'll be people there, who show you love too, but obviously it's the bad comments too. So after the videos start going, after a certain time, I just stop looking at the comments. Because people can be really fucking mean, really cruel. Like, so I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can have your opinion, whatever. But wait, what was the original comment? I mean, the original.
How you're stepping into it with you really wearing what you want to wear.
Yes, that's what
and making it look good.
That's where we was going with it. So the people want to see, like, women who have bigger stomachs like me, who are big like me, or plus size. They don't want to see your stomach. They're really fat phobic. Like they want you to wear like over, the dresses that like flow, and so you don't see my stomach. Cover up my fat rolls, cover up your arms. They want you to cover up. They don't want to see it. Wear, like flowy pants that are more flattering to my shape. But I'm like, if I wore that, I wouldn't dress how I want to dress and how I feel comfortable and how I think I look good. Because I don't want to wear that shit.
I want to wear that shit.
Like, I don't want to wear that. I don't want to put it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to put on some leggings. I want to put on a little crop top. Like, I want to show a little boobie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or with the tight pants. Like, even with jeans on. And that's what a girl had commented on one of my videos. And she was like, me being apple shaped. I agree with this comment. And the comment was saying that my pants weren't flattering. I should put on some different pants. You tell me, babe, what pants you want me to put on that's not gonna show my stomach? What am I gonna wear that's not gonna show my stomach? Like, be fucking for real. Like, unless it's like some trouser flowy pants. Like, and you probably still might see my stomach. So what do you want me to put on? So, even with me putting on jeans, me putting on leather pants, like, I just can't do right. You know what I'm saying? If I don't look right in their eyes. But for me, I think I look good.
Yeah.
I think I'm putting that shit on.
Put that shit on. Talk to.
So, the internet, people, and a lot of the things is what I realized too. People be miserable. People be miserable on the internet. And it's people who don't have profile pictures, don't have a single video up. The girl who made that comment, she had face up pictures. So that tells me everything I need to know about you. You're not confident in yourself, so you're commenting on, projecting your insecurities over here on me. I'm okay. I'm okay with. I've come to I have a big stomach. I'm an apple shape. Cool, we're good. So now we've got that clear. I'm gonna put on what I want to put on. Like I said, what I like, what I want to wear, and and it's not like I'm stepping out looking just sloppy, nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think I look good.
You do.
So that's that on that. Like, I don't like when people do that, tell you what to wear, what's gonna look flattering, because it's really gonna limit me in what I want to wear and how I want to dress. I don't want to wear the little grandma dresses, the little flowy dresses. I don't want to dress like that. The stuff that we constantly see on plus size websites, I don't want to put that on. Like, I don't want to wear that. That's not me. That's not my style. I don't want to put that on.
Well, the shit that you got on was obviously made in your size, so you can wear it.
Exactly. I can wear what I want to wear. And so that's what I do. So if whatever, it is what it is.
That has always bothered me too. But it's not just, it comes from plus size women too. It comes from skinny women. It comes from, or whatever. Let's just say a woman with a nice little joint back there, little apple. That ring is crazy. Nice little apple back there or whatever. She's in church or whatever. Well, she's, No, I'm saying she's in church.
No, I said I'm talking about my ring.
Oh, the ring. Yeah, you said that at the back.
You're right. It might be.
Yeah. But she's in church. She's wearing her pants. She's not doing it for attention. I'm not saying all of them not doing it for, but she's not doing. She can't help the way she's shaped.
Right, exactly. They do that with like church teachers, stuff like that. Like,
and you wearing the same exact thing she's wearing. Exactly. It just ain't hitting like she's wearing. Be confident in how it fits on you though. You bought it, so be confident in how you put it on.
Exactly.
How do you keep from? Cause you got a mouth. And you're a
I do.
person who will say, I've always known you to say exactly, even when you didn't know me like that, you walk up to, you say exactly how you feel. You
Mhm.
never hold, to the point sometimes I'd be like, am I going to have to slap a bitch? Not calling you a bitch, but just,
Yeah,
am I I'm like, is Cuz talking to me? Nah, I'm just talking shit. But how do you keep from responding in those comments like
I
that
do.
in
I
your
have.
mouth?
I still do. I still clap
So,
back at some people for sure.
did you
That's
clap back
me.
at her?
I responded to her comment. I basically just said what I just said here. I was just like, you know, all your videos are from the face up, so that tells me everything I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, have a blessed day, and left it at that. I have learned to not. I don't have the energy to exude to comment back and go back and forth with everybody. I still do though. I still do sometimes. I ain't gonna say I ain't all the way there yet. But I mean, some people just need to be clapped back at. Okay.
No, for real.
Like, so, but yeah, I don't feel like giving that my energy to that today. So I'm just not gonna do it. I don't feel like dealing with that today. So I'm just not gonna do it. So that's how I kind of just. But if I have the time,
I got time.
I got time today, cause we're gonna you know what I'm saying. But usually I respond like once or twice and then I'm done with it. Like I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you over the internet, you know, on a video. I ain't finna do it. I don't know you. You don't know me. We're not linking up. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's happening here. You have your opinion. I have my opinion, and I'm still gonna continue to do what I do. So that's how I've learned to definitely let it go on and just go.
What if letting it go is the wrong thing to do? And hear me out real quick. And what if also commenting in the way that you comment, as far as aggressively or like coming at the person, is the wrong thing to do? What if your influence is to take that hit, pull that person to the side, like in a DM, like, let me explain something to you. Not even like getting at them, but checking them in a way to help them understand something for them to be better as a person versus them taking you. Not saying it's not in you, because obviously I said it's in you to clap at somebody or get at somebody. You've never held your tongue, but it's easy for you to do that. What's hard is to take a comment like that and just, I got to take this punch. I got to get on this cross. You know what I'm saying? I got to take these scars, but I'm going to pull her to the side and show her some love.
So because I feel like with that, I feel like it just depends on like you as a person. So me as a person, I don't have the energy or the time to pull everybody to the side and be the bigger person. You know, I don't.
Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody.
Right, and even so, like I just don't, because so you had the audacity and you had the courage to come on in the comments. So let's do it right here in the comments. So you know what I'm saying? You wanted everybody to see. Let's have everybody see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then sometimes it also is with me being, you know, an influencer. People see what I say. So you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I may, because I need you to, you know, to know who I am as well. So with my personality, I don't want to be on the internet faking somebody I ain't. So I might just clap back at you, you know what I'm saying, and say something rude, because that's who I am. But I also may have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? Have a day that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? I wish you well. You know what I'm saying? Or something like I wish you heal or something. It just depends on how I feel, what the comments was saying. But I'm not. Now, there has been women who've reached out to me in my comments and asked me certain things, you know, like, how are you so confident? How did you get your style? How did you do this? How did you get started with modeling and influencing? Whatever. I'm going to respond to you, but I'm not taking the time to pull somebody to the side and go to their DMs and, oh, I'm not your therapist. I'm not a healing session here. I don't have, like I said, I'm not giving you that energy. Like, so I may clap back but like I said, I just go and move on. You heal on your own time. I'm not pulling anybody to the side and going to their DMs. Hey, no, I'm not doing all that. It's just, I'm not doing it. Like the internet is just the internet. I'm not doing it.
Got you.
You better go see a therapist. I may comment that. Go see a therapist, like, or something like. But I'm not pulling you to the side in your DMs. It's just not happening.
Yeah. You have you. If I look at you, I mean, you're just you online, so it's easy to spot you out. Have you been out and people have spotted you? Oh, Shanika, you're Shanika.
Man, why y'all do that?
Because you got 3 S's on there. Have you had that yet?
I only put the 3 S's on there because I still wanted my username just to be my name.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
added 2 S's. Stop saying that.
Okay, Shanika.
But now I do the Shanika Allison now too as well. So like,
Yeah, I
they
seen
call me-
that.
which is my middle name. So, but yeah, I've had like where I spoke at like an event and people was like, "Yeah, I already follow you. I already know you." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Okay, cool," but I haven't had anybody come up to me like that I didn't already know and be like, "Hey, you're so and so." Like, there's been other people I've seen on the internet I haven't met yet, and then I see them in person. But I know, you know what I'm saying, we like know each other. We seen each other on the internet. But I haven't had like where somebody was like, "Oh my god, you like I follow you." I haven't had that. And one of my friends had said something about that, and she was like, "It's probably somebody in here right now who looking at you like, oh, I follow her, I know her." I'm like, "Don't." I'm like, "That's cool," but I'm like, I would hope they would come up, you know, and say something to me. I know everybody won't, but I would hope that somebody would. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really a nice person. Like, you can come and say hi. Like,
very nice.
Yeah, I would, you know, love that. Like, hello, hey girl, hey girl, hey.
You are a person people gotta learn that what you're saying is not out of ill will. Like sometimes my wife is like that too. Sometimes the way y'all say
stuff, yes.
if you're not used to that, you're like, yo.
Yeah, I've had problems with that with like friends, the way I've said stuff. So I know that now that I know that and I'm self-aware of who I am and how I am, I've learned that some of the time, some of the things I say is not, you know, with ill intention, but it's how I say it that comes across kind of ill and mean and blunt, maybe even rude even. But other than I'm like, damn, well, I was just saying that.
I didn't even hear it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like how it came out, I didn't expect for you to take it that way. But damn.
You said something earlier before we started recording. It was a word you used, a phrase you used when I was talking about me beating myself up about like the content before I put it out.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. What exactly is that?
So it's basically where you think less of yourself and you compare yourself to others or what could be, what should be, and things like that. That's basically what it is. So you aren't living up to your full potential, basically. And you're so worried about, oh, if I do this, if I had this, or if I did it, well, this person is doing this and that person is doing that. Look how far they are. Look where I am. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, comparing yourself and really beating yourself up and not really looking at the positive, how far you have come. You did get started. You know what I'm saying? You got however many followers, you know, not congratulating yourself and celebrating the wins that you have gotten.
Yeah.
You're just so busy looking at, you know, the negative stuff, not focusing on the positive stuff.
While you are a confident person, you say you still struggle with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the moments like when you struggle with that, and how do you?
Sometimes it can come off being like a little hater, you know, looking at other people like, damn, like you might look at them like, damn, my content look better than theirs. You know, you know what I'm saying? I look better than them. You might think, you know what I'm saying? Say little stuff like that. And kind of like I said, being a little hater. But yeah, I just have to reel myself back in, like, you know, where you are doing this. You know, you do work a full-time job. You all do have a daughter now. You know, you are balancing these things and you are still, you know, putting one foot in front of the other and still going and making it happen. And you are still getting brand deals. You're getting paid deals. You know, you are still doing these things. So, man, bye. But, you know, and not just looking at where I'm not at and look at where I am. So, you know, I would love to be, you know, no full-time job, doing this full-time, you know, but I'm not there yet. So not beating myself up constantly because I'm not where I want to be. And just still working towards where I want to be, you know, and knowing and having faith that I'll get there.
Yeah. The DMs that you receive, I'm sure you receive DMs from other like women, and probably not even just the plus size women, other people who are inspired by you, period. Like, I really feel what you're doing, and you're motivating me in my journey. How was that like when you first received some shit like that?
It make you feel good. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. It made me feel good. Even when I still get them to this day, and I feel like, and it be random, and I feel like it be on the days that you need them the most. Because it may be a day where you like, man, I really don't feel like editing this video. I really don't feel like getting up creating content. Man, I'm gonna put it off to tomorrow or whatever. I had a girl recently who had reached out to me, and we haven't met in person, but like how women, I feel like it's usually women who have like people they know on the internet, like other influencers who they cool with, girls they cool with, but we ain't never met each other, but we hype each other up. You know what I'm saying? We talk to each other and stuff like that, but I ain't never met you. We just know each other on the internet, and she's an influencer as well. And she was just like, she just reached out and was like, I just want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Now, she was basically saying how she was a bigger girl and she didn't start making content and being an influencer until she lost weight, and she got a little work done. So until she had the body, I guess, that she wanted or she felt like it was acceptable. And she was like, I really commend you for, doing it right now at, the size that you are and being that representation for women who, looked like us or look how she, used to look. And I was like, that really, it made me feel good. Like, I'm like, okay, and I didn't know that, that I knew she was bigger, but not, and I knew she got a little work done, but I didn't know how, big she was. I just knew she lost, a little weight or something. Yeah. But yeah, it did make me feel good. Like, I'm doing the right thing. Like, okay, I am doing the right thing. Let me keep my ass up and go record this content, and let me keep, doing what I'm doing. Like I'm on the right path, and what I'm doing is, helping someone else.
Yeah.
So that really, yeah, every time it hits, every time. It never gets old. I love to see it. So if you want to DM me, please.
I wonder if that message hit different because it's a person who didn't have to. Of course, nobody has to DM you, but a person who got the work done, who is away from that type journey or whatever, but they still hit you up to let you know that they're inspired versus somebody who's currently struggling with that. Yeah.
They absolutely did, for sure. And with her, like, because she got more followers than me and get more views and stuff like that. So, she's, I want to say she's a full-time, content creator. Like, that's, her full-time job. So, yeah, for her to reach out and say that it was, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that I didn't want to do. I'm like, I was that person. Like, we probably had conversations about it. Like, I need this to get started. I need a camera. I need lighting equipment. I need this, that, and the third before I get started. And then one day I was like, fuck it. Like, we finna get started. Like, let's go. Like, and it's to look back, it's really a good thing to have, to look back and be like, damn, like, look how far you have come. Like, look how your content used to look. Look how it look now. Look how your YouTube videos used to look. Look how you do now. Look how you edit now. Look how you, talk and, things like that. So it is like good to see the journey and how far you have come, and to know you just keep growing, keep going.
On the outside looking in, I'm not really on the outside because I'm your nigga, but I'm on the outside looking in because I'm not there during the editing process and all of that. I seen you, and every time you put something out, it was like, and I'm not a person who could edit at this time or even so I'm like, damn, she cold. But every time you get a little better, I'm like, God damn, like she's taking off. So you really took that in, and to you probably wasn't moving like you should have moved.
Exactly.
But me
that's the imposter syndrome. Like that's part of that. So you looking at me like, damn, that's she doing good. That's nice. Da da da. But I'm looking at another influencer who got 1 million, and her editing is through the roof, and I'm like, damn. I need to step my editing game up. You know what I'm saying? It's like I gotta keep up, But if, like I said, for you thinking I'm doing good. Me, I'm not doing enough. Yeah. I need to do better. I need to get better. So that, that can affect sometimes, but I do have to take a step back. Like, look how far you have come. You have, grown, and she probably been doing this longer than you. She don't have a full-time. It's just so many people live different lives. So the fact that I would just keep going, just keep, progressing. Like that's what helps me too, like to look where I've come from and look how far, I've came. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have everything. I didn't have, even now to this day, like I see other influencers who have a nice high rise, a nice house, a nice, whatever it may be. I don't think my apartment fits the aesthetic, a certain aesthetic, or it didn't. I've, we moved into a new apartment and I started getting, stuff little by little. And that's but I documented my process too. And I was transparent with my audience. Like, what I'm saying? Like, we're moving. I, threw a lot of things away. We're kind of starting from scratch. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because everybody don't have the money to just go to Target and drop a couple of bands on house decor. You get things little by little. You do things little by little. And I feel like that's, just like I said, another way for me to be relatable and really be transparent with my audience. Like, I'm not out here living like, the big influencers living. I'm living just regular, just like y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got a 9 to 5. I take care of my daughter and I still do this, on the side. And I live in a regular apartment.
Yeah. And you also have to do what you have to do to keep your relationship going,
Right.
too. Yeah. So going back to, because everything, and it's not gravy now, obviously, but your confidence is pretty gravy. The direction you moving in or see yourself moving in is like you see it, obviously, but there was times where you didn't see it. There was times before you even knew what you wanted to do, when you were struggling in school with your weight, when you were struggling with being tall. Can we go back to those times, like in school, and did you go through depression with this stuff?
Yeah, in college, I dropped. So I went to KU. I went to KU for 3 years. So I was a junior, ended up dropping out. But the like, freshman, sophomore year was cool. I was kicking in, doing, just regular classes. But I wasn't really focused. I knew what I said I was gonna do, which was be a business major, but that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I was just trying to get a degree to make some money, get out the hood. But my mind wasn't in it, my heart wasn't in it, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I ended up dropping out. Once I dropped out, and that's kind of when, like, the depression I feel like it kind of started in college too, because I was a little lonely. In college, like, I feel like if I could go back, I would go to like a HBCU or something. Like, I feel like me going to a predominantly white college, or even if I did go to KU, maybe I would have got a little closer with the black people who were on campus. But being just there with so many white people, I guess it was a little uncomfortable. Like, I just feel like I just didn't fit in, and I didn't find my people. So, but once I dropped out, that's when it, it kind of started from there. And I feel like my life kind of just, like, I ended up getting a full-time job. I moved out my mama's house. I got a roommate, got my first apartment. Me and her relationship went downhill. So then she ended up moving out and I was there by myself. And that's why I went through depression, like, real, like, hard. Like, from there. So that had to be in like 2014, 2015, up until probably like 2017, 2018, I went through depression. Like, when I was working at the post office, like, I was not going to work. I was sleeping all day. Like, Rayvon, like, it got to a point where Rayvon came in there like, hey, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, you're not talking to me. You're not going to work. You sleeping a lot. Like, what's up? What's going on? Like, I'm worried about you. And that's why I was like, like, I'm really, like, down here depressed. I'm out here down bad. But when I was in my apartment by myself and I learned a lot of things about myself. And then I feel like my confidence also started to grow. Like, I started to really, like, love myself too. Like, I guess me being alone I had to face myself and, live with myself and deal with myself. But yeah, so that I went through, depression with that. It was a time. It was a time for sure. But it really like it was, and it was everything. It wasn't just, just like my weight or my confidence. It was, family problem issues, relationship stuff, like um it was just life. And I still, up until that point, I still didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I still was trying to figure it out. It wasn't until what at the post office, and I think I seen something on the internet. And I think I seen somebody like modeling in Kansas City or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was like a Kansas City like fashion week thing or something I seen. I don't even remember. But it was just kind of like a light bulb went off. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty, right? Like I can model, like, and I'm, I'm tall, like, so that's when I started, I just started like looking up stuff, following pages on Instagram, like modeling stuff, and I started going to auditions for fashion shows, and I was in fashion shows doing that, and then I started taking, my pictures on Instagram, and then I started looking at so once I did a couple fashion shows, and I was like, this is not, like, they not paying me, like, I'm here all day long, like, from like 10 a.m. to 9 at night, and you're not trying to pay me or anything, like, I'm just here for exposure, like, I'm trying to do more, you know what I'm saying? So then I started looking into the influence, and I see, I'm okay, like they getting paid to do this. So that's when I started with that. And then it definitely started, helping too with like me like being happy and figuring out what I want to do and what I'm meant to do. Like, and finding my lane with, the modeling, the influence, and the fashion and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, this is what, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. You spoke on earlier. You were speaking on the struggle with the family too. But before we started recording, you talked about your dad a little bit and that struggle, and he had a drug addiction, obviously. How did that affect you as a kid, dealing with that and everything else you were dealing with too? When did you realize he had a drug addiction?
I was young. I was in like elementary school for sure. We was we said, because I went to Douglas. We said off 17th Street in the hood, KCK. No, I swear. But no, but so I was young. I don't even know how old, but I was young. Definitely before 5th grade. So like I was like, hey, I wasn't seeing him, necessarily get high, like smoking the crack, but I would see him after, his demeanor, his actions and things like that. Like he stole, he would steal money from us. And then he would like snoop around the house like a crackhead. Like while everybody sleep, you snooping around the house and stuff, like just doing weird stuff. Like, and I could tell like his voice would change. Like I said, his demeanor, his eyes. And then he was also alcoholic too. So, when he was, on crack, he was nice. He wasn't like a mean or, person when he was on crack. He might steal from you, but you know what I'm saying? He wasn't. Now when he would drink and he would get belligerent and, you know what I'm saying, angry and things like that. I would see, him and my brothers would get into it and fight and stuff. I would see him and my mama get into it and fight. And going through that, it was more so, it was for sure like traumatizing, but it was harder when I got older to realize that my daddy wasn't the only villain. It was to realize that my mom was, wasn't perfect either. Because, when I was younger, we would think, like, daddy is so bad because he does this, that, and the third. But not seeing the actions that my mom has taken and what she does and how it's so harmful because she's not a crackhead. She's not an alcoholic. So, when you're younger, you think that, mom is a saint. You know what I'm saying? Mama's here. She's taking care of us. She works every day. She's providing for us. She's not doing drugs, drinking, smoking. So now being older, looking back, like, damn, like I really didn't have a mother-daughter relationship with my mom. Like she was a provider. So being able to talk to my mama, about girl issues, go shopping together, nails done, feet done, or, even women things, like menstruals and things like that. Like I didn't have that. I didn't have a relationship with my mom. We didn't do those things. Like she was a provider. She wasn't a mother figure for me. Like she wasn't, what I'm saying, what I would say as a mother today, my definition of, a mother, I guess, today. Like how she was is not how I want to be with my daughter. So I want to have a relationship with my daughter, like a relationship of friendship, like a relationship. And now, it's a boundary friendship, mother being a parent, obviously. But I wanted my daughter, to be able to come talk to me and us have conversations together, us hang out together. Like, do we even like each other? Like, do you know what I'm saying? As a person, and not just be a provider. I go. She went to work, put food on the table, put clothes on her back. That's where I did what I needed to do. If I was hurt, I'm saying, she there. Other than that, there was nothing else. Like I was telling my sister, we had a conversation about this not too long ago. I can remember my mama coming to maybe one of my games because I played volleyball, basketball, I did cheerleading. I was on a drill team at one point. I can recall my mom coming to like maybe one game. My dad maybe just a couple. So, out of all the years I played basketball, like y'all really didn't show up. There was no really real support or, I'm proud of you, congratulations. Excuse me. Even with I love you. Like my mom, she says it now. But back then there wasn't a, just I love you. I'm proud of you. You're doing such a great job. Even with me going to Sumner, even with me going to KU, graduating, it was only out of 6 of us, and only half of us graduated from high school. My dad graduated, my mom didn't. She dropped out when she was like in 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? So there was no you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. You're doing, such a good job. There was no recognition. There was, um, I love you was rarely said. Like me and my sister talked about that not too long ago, how we never really heard that growing up. So I feel like all those things did affect who I was and in my confidence. And, with me being plus size, I've been big, all my life. So even in, elementary to middle school. So it's basically I had to build myself back up. I didn't have other people, to help me or to tell me I was beautiful or, the whatever. I didn't have that. I had to do that, for myself. And it was a point in time, where I saw, I guess, from men to them telling me that, but I had to figure that out for myself, like I guess how they say it all starts at home. I didn't have that. So it was now that I'm older to realize that, because there was a point in time where it was a couple incidents that happened once I was grown, and where I feel like my mom like really just disrespected me, and I was just like, it was me realizing that my family and then my mother was toxic as well, not just my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like my daddy was in my face. I seen it. I knew it. So for me to grow up and transition and see my mom, it's like, man, my mama toxic too. Like just because she's not doing drugs don't mean that she's just a perfect parent. Like we had some times where I'm just like you're really toxic. Like you're not, I guess what I thought when you was younger, what I thought you was, Um, so even now, like we have a okay relationship now. Um, but it's like I've set boundaries. I've learned to set boundaries, and I've learned basically like, what I can talk to you about, what I can't talk to you about.
Yeah. That's
things
everybody.
things like that. So I think that it's our relationship is better now because I've set those boundaries and I've stood up for myself. That we're okay now. We're okay.
Do you understand? Do you know your mama's story? Do you understand? Because to say she dropped
And
out at 9th grade means she had her own problems or
right,
own issues or whatever.
for sure. So I absolutely extend grace to my mother,
Yeah.
and I absolutely understand she has a story. I know her full story. I don't. But my mom is also a person that you gotta like try to dig it out of her too. She's not just gonna tell you. You gotta ask questions. And then it's some stuff that I've heard from like my siblings and stuff that I don't necessarily know is true. Because some things I'm like, shit, do I want to know is true? You know, do I want to know if my mom was raped or not? I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or to even bring that trauma back up for her, you know. But yeah, so she dropped out because she was pregnant, you know, with my brother. So she had 6 kids. She had her first kid when she was 16. So she chose to drop out. And I've heard stories about like my grandma. I know her biological father wasn't there and things like that. Even though, you know, her story ain't mine to tell. But I know she went through certain things.
Yeah.
And I know certain things it's because how she was raised and what she went through. So that's why for me, I can't change her, but I can change me and how I parent my daughter and how I move forward, how I heal. Like I said, me setting boundaries, me voicing how I feel and like, okay, like you're not gonna treat me like this. Like this is not okay. This is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't hang up in my face. Certain things like that. Like that's not okay. I don't do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't treat you that way. Like don't, do that to me. So it's just certain things, but I absolutely extend grace for my. I believe she had a hard, like, upbringing. I feel like it was, pretty difficult, and you know, yeah. So I for sure.
Like you said, she says "I love you" now, where she didn't say "I love you." So somewhere in between now and how she was, y'all have did some type of work. She had to do work on her end too, because you aren't going to just accept anything. So she did some type of work to get better.
Yeah.
And you say it's like digging. You got to dig for it. But maybe it hasn't been like really presented for her to even think that you even care to hear that. Because like you was telling me earlier before we started recording, like your story can help somebody, and so her story to you may help you. Cause like you forgive her, but you still got stuff in your mind like, why is this like this or whatever? And maybe you may understand her a little more if she gave you that. But it is hard to understand people when they don't give you nothing. But also from her perspective, like nobody ever cared when I was younger, so I had to build up these walls or
Right.
so I'm not able to give you that. And that's just me extending grace to the generation before us or
Right.
that had us. Like I do understand we are privileged in the sense
Mhm.
that we're right in the middle of this generation that
Mhm.
has all the
Yeah.
information and that generation that didn't, but they have a certain standard of how you should respect life and how you should, you know what I'm saying? So we're privileged in the sense to where we get information and we could teach this generation and this generation, the one below us. So like you've started with, you're going to respect me no matter who you are, mother, daughter, whoever you are. And she respects that now. Maybe she needs you to open her up a little bit because you do. I'm sure you do care. You know what I'm saying? And you, but she probably don't. She probably's like, don't nobody want to hear this shit. Or, and like you said, you don't want to bring it back up to her, but you did say your story needs to even help you. So it may help your mama be. Everybody needs somebody to let that shit off to.
Right.
And maybe you the one, or maybe you not. Maybe you the one she should let it off to. She can let it off to because you do have a understanding of struggle and all that. So
yeah, and it was certain things too. Like, we went a period of time where I wasn't talking to her. Like, so I feel like that, I guess, in a way helped. Maybe it, helped her understand that I'm not playing. Like,
yeah,
it's because my family too. They're a family, which I know people can relate. That we get into it and we don't talk for 2 weeks and then we show back up like nothing ever happened. There's no apology. Do 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 do. Me, I was tired of that. Like because y'all not to just keep disrespecting me. So I'm the youngest. And so with me, I feel like I was bullied by my siblings too. I was bullied. And I feel like there was points of times where I feel like I'm looking at my mama like, get your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you sitting here letting them do what they doing? Like, this is not okay. And so it was an instance like I remember she had hung up in my face. And I'm like, I'm looking at the phone like, hey, you disrespectful. Like, that's real disrespectful. Like, I wouldn't do you like that. You know what I'm saying? I've never done my mom how my siblings have done her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've never talked to her or called her out her name. You know what I'm saying? So I've respected you. I've always respected you, and I've always seen that it's just wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, you gonna do that to me? Like, you gonna me? Like, you know, I'm your baby. Like, I don't even, do you like that? Like, we not even like that. Like, why are you being so, disrespectful? And then, things just kept happening and stuff. So we went like a period of time where I was just doing my own thing. Like, I didn't call him for nothing. I didn't, I was just out here doing what, I would talk to her maybe every couple of months. Like, I would talk to her. Hey, how you doing? Like, I'm alive. Like, hey, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then we would, they would have, if they had little functions and stuff, I didn't go. I just, kind of stayed to myself because I'm just like, it was just too much for me. Like, it was just too toxic for me. Like, and like, y'all just be, disrespectful and mean to each other for no reason. And we don't have to be like that. Even till this day, like, my family is not, we're all kind of just like do our own thing. Like, I talk to one of my sisters, like, kind of frequently, but the rest of them, I don't talk to them. Like, we don't talk, we don't speak. But yeah, for sure, my mom, maybe she does need to, like you said, get it off her chest and things like that. Maybe we'll have that conversation one day.
That would be dope. Because you obviously the one who have to lead in communication, and that's okay. Because it's okay to be a baby in certain areas. I like to use that. Like, where she is an adult, but in this area she's a baby, and you're advanced in this, so you have to teach. Just like I say, like, I'm a baby in parenting my child. I'm a baby to my child because I'm learning how to parent with them or whatever. So I'm allowing them to teach me how to parent them because certain shit I don't know. Where you took your traumas or your struggles with how you were raised and made yourself better, a lot of people take those traumas and struggles and be like, well, this is the right way.
Right.
This is how it's supposed to be done.
Or whatever. Yeah.
So you got to give them that type of grace. You actually seen it though and was like, nah, I'm not one to do my daughter like this. You were the youngest child, which usually is the best child, like best position, because they like, okay, the parent is experienced by then, and they like, man, I'm gonna spoil this one. That's the one, and then the older kids are like, nah, why you treating her like that? Why she get all that? You had the weight, you struggle with your weight, your height, and you also biracial. That's a whole nother struggle. A lot of people don't, because like I was speaking to somebody else, you hate on Drake. But you hate on. But he had a lyric where he talked about, and I talked about this with Southside Dane, because he had the struggle of being not living in the hood, but out there I'm too poor for them where I'm at. But going in the hood, it's like, oh, you bougie type shit. Yeah. You have the I'm not black enough and I'm not white enough type shit. Even though you probably don't even claim your white side.
I don't, for real. And it was a point to where I was, I guess had like a little identity crisis, you can say.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, like, I am white too. I am black. But it was like, once I got a little older and I'm just like, it was just like, and I'm not saying this for all white people, right? Because people be people. But I'm just like, white people are evil. Like white people are mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and how the way that they do treat, minorities, black people, people of color, Mexicans, whatever, Asians, whoever. Even if you're Indian, Arabic, whatever, I don't know the proper terms. But they just be mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from the start, from them, coming on over here. Like, so, it was, and then also it was for me when I was younger, my dad being, the evil one, he's white. And then my mom over here having to play Superwoman, she's black. And I also grew up around black people. So I didn't grow up around my dad's, the white side. Like, I really didn't know my dad's grandma until like 4th grade, 3rd grade, is when I remember her. But I grew up, with the black family, my mama's side, and I do really feel like there's a difference when you have a white mama versus a black mama. I really do feel like it's a difference. Like it's like most people you can tell like if their mama is black or not. Like, so, for me, like how I look, how I sound, my name, I'm black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I often don't see the white, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's there, and I know there is, privilege with me being lighter skinned and, curly hair, whatever. I know it's privilege there, but for me, I'm black. Like, and that's just how. Now that I'm older and I've gone through my little identity crisis, I'm like, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I am biracial, but I'm black. Like I said, from how I talk, how I act, and I love black people. Like,
yeah,
I love the culture. I love black men. Like, I can't see myself with a white man. I don't know how my mama went over there and did that. Like, I don't even know. But, and that's why I said not all people, white people are evil. Of course not. But, I love black people.
Yeah. So be clear, she's not saying she hate white people.
Right. Which, I mean, I don't. Because, I mean, it's evil black people, too. Yeah. Black people. It's just, a lot of white people are just, like, especially, like, the time we're seeing now. Like, y'all really be racist. Like, y'all really be, you're not an ally. You're not using your white privilege for good. Like, y'all be... Like, cause so I talk on the phone too, like, so that's my job. Like, I'm on the phone talking to people, and I'm like, hello, thank you so much for talking to me. My name is Shanika. Da 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 da. Oh, hey, Shaniqua. I never said, and that be giving me like the worst. Like, I be like automatically in my head. I'm like, damn, like, are you racist? Because where did you get the qua from? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's like a name they would go to as a ghetto name. Like, who? I didn't say Shaniqua. You didn't hear me say that. You made that up. You made it up. I said Shanika. Come on, be fucking for real.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I did go through my little, I guess, like you said, identity crisis, but I'm like, I'm black. Then there are some people like, who don't see me as, they're like, you're biracial, or you're white. But that's cool. Like, you can say how you feel. Like, I know who I am and what, and how I was raised and all of that. But...
And I'm sure that had to be a struggle at some point, like a fight. Like, damn, nigga, I'm here.
I've only had that happen with one person. And maybe other people have felt that way, but nobody came out verbally said it to me. I've had it happen with only one person. And I would say two. Probably two. Because this one lady, when I worked at a casino, and she was like, she didn't want me to help her. She was like, no, I want my sister to help me over here. And I was like, and she was black. And I'm like, oh. I was like, all right, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but I was just like, that was my first time experiencing that from someone black.
Yeah.
The white people, you get the, stares and stuff like that, all this, whatever. But from somebody black, I was like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm not black enough for her. Like, she sees me as a white person or, because I am mixed, whatever. But I know there's white people who don't like that either. They don't like that. My grandpa on my daddy's side is racist, and I think that he really just didn't like that my dad was with my mom. I don't think he really cared for us either. They don't like when you mix. So it was a bit of a struggle, but it wasn't as big as of a struggle I thought it was going to be. Because my uncle had warned me earlier on in my life. So when he had to talk with me when I was probably like in elementary school, and he's like, there's going to be some things that you probably don't understand. He was like, there's going to be some people who, don't agree with who you are, with you being white and black. And so he had a conversation with me, like, and he was like, you're going to experience things. And, of course, then I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I understood. But it wasn't as big as a thing, like I said, like I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So, but I'm like, I know who I am, so that's all that matters. Most people, when they see me and, you hear me, you talk to me, I'm black. When I'm on the phone talking to people, they be like, yeah, they don't know I'm mixed, obviously.
I got a sister.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, they like, they obviously don't know I'm mixed, but they be like, yeah, I'm black. Like, they're like, you understand. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is.
And the fact that you ain't changing your voice, changing your tone, like, to sound like a white person or whatever, you're comfortable in who you are, that helps a lot, too.
Right.
A lot of people think you have to do that and you don't.
Like, I changed my tone to sound, I guess a little more professional, but you definitely can still hear that I don't change it that much.
You don't super change it up.
Yeah. Like,
I know that had to be a little more piercing. Well, I don't know. I would think that would have to be a little more piercing to hear that from a sister, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really unexpected. It really caught me off guard. Because I'm over here like, damn, she say what I thought she just said. So I was just like, all right, like... And then I told old girl, but the old girl that I was working with, we damn near the same color. Okay, like, she was black too, but I'm like, shit, we damn near the same color. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, it is what it is.
How is because I remember you running around, lost little puppy.
Not too much.
Not
too fucking much.
Dominique, could you teach me how to? No, I'm just playing.
Not
anyway,
too
but how is motherhood serving you now? And when I ask you that, I'm talking about for the better of your mental, for the better of your things you didn't understand, for where you can grow at and all of that. How is that serving you?
Now I'm good. But when I was pregnant, mentally, it was a struggle for me when I was pregnant mentally. And I feel like I didn't have the support that I needed. And I also was a high risk pregnancy. So, I kind of worried about that a little bit. But, feeling Sky kick around and stuff, I was like, okay, we good. I feel her in there.
High risk.
So with me being plus size, so me being overweight, and then I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant.
And that is?
Basically just diabetes when you're pregnant. It could come when you get pregnant and then go away. So go away. Once I had the baby, it was gone. And then towards the end, my blood pressure really wasn't too high, but towards the end it got higher. So I was considered a high risk pregnancy. I ended up having Sky a month early, so she ended up being technically a preemie. But it was mentally, I was just struggling. And I guess it was just like a period of time. I was just, like I said, I was just kind of feeling lost and like I didn't have the support. And me being worried about my pregnancy, how it's gonna go, if she gonna make it, if I'm gonna make it. I had to go to a doctor. I had to go see 2 different doctors. So I would go see my OBGYN, then have to go to a specialist and see them. And during this time, I feel like my significant other just dropped the ball. And I feel like I didn't have the support of my family either. But, I know he was going through his own thing too with us, bringing the baby in the world and stuff like that. But it was really like kind of emotional for me. Like I said, I was struggling. I still was working. I worked up until I was, like 7 months. And I was still on the machine. I think I went to sit down when I was like 6 months. So I was still, lifting heavy stuff, doing shit I wasn't supposed to do, but I wanted to remain active. I wasn't doing too crazy. I wasn't going too crazy. I still wanted to remain active. Um, so I wouldn't have as tough as a pregnancy, or, I wouldn't get too big. Cause that's the thing we worry about too when you plus size. They don't want you to gain too much weight, or they predict that you're going to do this, that, the third, I feel like doctors kind of, can get in your head a little bit too and build that up when that's not necessarily true because everybody is different. So me and my pregnancy, I think I gained like 15 pounds. My daughter was 6. So I really didn't do, too much of nothing. But like I said, I did stay active during my pregnancy. I was on my feet and stuff like that. So, but like, and then it was a little bit of struggle once I had her. But I feel like it was just a little bit of a struggle of us being new parents and adjusting, that adjustment, building a schedule together, I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of fall off. But building a schedule together and, figuring out what works for us and parenting, and me trying to breastfeed, that was a little bit of a struggle. It wasn't working out for your girl. I wanted to breastfeed so bad. And I really just had to wrap my head around, like, mentally, I wasn't really there. So for my mental health, I was really touched out. So her being all on me all the time, me being there with her all the time, her trying to be on my titty, me trying to get her to breastfeed. Girl, I'm like, girl, please go. Yeah. So for my mental health and everything, I feel like I made the decision, and the best choice for me was to stop breastfeeding. So I stopped breastfeeding, and things got better. Things got better for sure, like my mental health and everything. And not feeling so touched out because now, daddy can make a bottle. You can go with daddy. And versus you being on me all the time. Like I'm already here with you all day while he go to work, So that helped. And now, like, that's my girl. Like, we rocking. Like, it's such a beautiful thing to see. Like, motherhood is so beautiful. Like, if like us as women being able to bring life into this world, like me sitting here having a baby, laying on my back, having a baby, whether you lay on your back or not, but me having a baby, like, it was really honestly a beautiful thing. Like me being able to bring life into this world and seeing like my little girl, like I really did this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did this because, I pushed her out my
your best friend too.
Right, like, and her personality is just so big. Like, and when she was I was pregnant, she was in my womb, I didn't feel that connection. So as a mother, I didn't feel like a connection with my baby. Like, she was really like not really active much. She slept a lot. So during my pregnancy, she failed these tests. They call them BPPs. She failed a BPP a couple times. So, which is not a good look. So they look for like her heart rate, her heartbeat, how many movements she does. They expect for your baby to be certain, active at a certain point along in the pregnancy. So she was just really like a chill baby. She was just in there chilling for real. And so for her to come out and be this just big ball of personality, like, and it really just amazes me because I'm like, girl, you was in there just chilling. You wasn't kicking much. Like, it was like the physical part of the pregnancy was pretty easy. That's why I said I struggled mentally. The physical part, I was cool. I slept well. I didn't have no nausea, no vomiting, no things like that. I didn't have any cravings, nothing like that. So the physical part was pretty easy. It was just the mental part for me, emotional. But yeah, now like we be cool. Like, that's my girl. Like, we good.
Do you feel like
I
that?
found a balance.
Is it maybe that absent of connection because, and I'm asking because part of it was due to you being absent mentally too?
It could have been. It could have been that. It could have been I struggled for a while because I didn't want a baby. But I didn't want, and I had to deal with the decision I decided to make. You know what I'm saying? So, her father, of course, he wanted a baby. He wanted, her. Me, I'm at a point where like, I'm doing my influence and stuff. I'm starting, trying to start a business. I really don't see myself with a child right now. I really don't want a child right now. So I had to get over the fact that I'm gonna have a child because I wasn't, gonna have an abortion. I'm like, that's something I didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the choice I made. So I'm like, so now I have to live the decision. I'm bringing a child into this world, and things are gonna look differently. Things are gonna look different. My path is gonna be a little different from what I envisioned and what I thought.
Yeah.
And I had to get over that and overcome that, and really be okay with I'm having a baby right now.
Doesn't it add extra sense of motivation though?
Yeah, now that she's here, for sure. But I feel like I didn't need a child to have motivation. I had, I had motivation. Like I had my own motivation, and that was the thing. Like I don't want to bring a child here this world right now because I'm not, financially ready. I'm not mentally ready. I ain't ready.
But it builds more character too while having the motivation.
For sure. But I still just feel like I just wasn't ready. So, but now I that's my girl. Like now that she's here, like of course before I had her, I could picture life without her.
Yeah.
But now that she's here, like yeah, that's my girl. Like I couldn't that's literally my world. Like she's so amazing. She's such a good baby. Like she's so smart, outgoing. Like seeing her grow and her growth, like, and then looking at her, I'm like, you're a little me. You know what I'm saying? Like. So yeah, now that she here, like we rocking, we locked in, ain't no switching up.
Just to shoot Rayvon some bell. I mean, I'm not making no excuses for nobody, but as a man, a lot of times we think we're ready for certain things or whatever. So we know we're going to do this better than what our parents did or whatever. Sometimes we hit the mark, sometimes we don't because we didn't realize, okay, this is harder than I thought. And then like with the bottles and all of that stuff, we're not thinking about that. We don't know nothing about postpartum. We don't know anything about any of that. So we just know, okay, I'm gonna bring a kid in the world a lot of the times, So just to shoot him some bell, the Rayvon that I've met doesn't seem like a person who wants to be a ass or wants to be absent. He just may be
which yeah, we talked about it, and he went through his own postpartum depression and things like that. And like I said, it really is a journey, like because our lives has changed. So it goes from me being me and him, going to do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. You know what I'm saying? To us now, we have to adjust to taking care of a baby, and also finding the balance of being there for each other, being there for ourselves. So all of those things, and really, finding and navigating through this new, adjustment of life is just something, that we had to go through. So
how old is Sky now?
Should be so next month.
Ready to. She sorry, Sky. I've been
he don't love you for real, baby.
My bad, Sky. I'm gonna try to be more present. I got a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? People love me. So okay. But anyway, I'm not sure, but I would assume that you have dropped the ball at some point as a parent and in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So this is just going back to giving your mother grace and stuff like that. Now that you are a parent,
I don't know if I dropped the ball.
There's times probably where you were like, "Get away from me." She didn't actually be here. Well, this is what I have to do.
When she was a baby, I was like, get away from me. But obviously, I didn't say that to her. In my mind, I said it. Yeah. But I still did what I needed to do. But now that she running around, I don't talk to her like that. Like, and but yeah, there's things in our, relationship. I'm sure I'll drop the ball for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like my daughter,
I
feel like the biggest thing for me, and it wasn't for her, it was for me, that I dropped the ball was with breastfeeding because I really wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But a fed baby is a healthy baby. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what. But I ain't dropped the ball. I feel like not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean.
But I'm for sure that happened for sure. It's life.
Yeah. Well, first of all, before I say this, and you probably already know this already, but I was listening to, I don't want to get that, Divine and Kadeem, I think that's their names.
I don't
Allison.
know who that is.
They have a book called We Over Me or whatever. But I remember him asking her, where do I fall in what's your schedule like or whatever? Her schedule was like, okay, I got to do this photo shoot. I got to do this with the kids. I got to do this. Through that whole schedule, he wasn't mentioned once, and he was just like, where do I fall in that? And it made her really think like, damn. And you do have, I know a lot of people had this debate, who comes first, your spouse or the kid, where I say the spouse is because you want to keep that intact so this can be great. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. We can raise this person to be great. I don't say the spouse as far as protection or anything like that, but just don't forget he has needs too, as he shouldn't forget you have needs, because we're so focused on all the things we want to do to get us in a better place. But as we're going through the journey, we have to take care of each other too. Talking to myself too. But in closing, can you lead the people with some words?
What? I don't know if I can.
I mean, you ain't gotta force it.
You just put me on the spot.
I put everybody on the spot. But just some inspiring words, or anything about the journey, or anything, just to keep them going through it.
I mean, I feel like the best advice I can give is just stay true to yourself and be authentic, like you. Be the authentic you, and what's meant for you will be for you. What God has in store for you will be for you. And just keep pushing. Like, if it's okay if everybody else doesn't see it. Mm-hmm. It's all right if it's not their vision to see. It's not their, journey to have. It's not their life. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, especially as millennials, we are realizing, the 9 to 5, the working hard for somebody else, and all these other things that people did in the past doesn't work, for a lot of us and what we want to do. And so just figure out what it is that makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, that's really what matters. And that's something that I really had to realize is you being happy, is going to reflect on everything else that you do and who you are.
Yeah.
So that's my word for the day.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you. I love you. I've enjoyed this space with you.
Even though you don't really mess with me no more, y'all.
It's not, I don't mess with you no more. You don't know how many people it's like pulling. You know what I'm saying? I love you.
All right.
That's all you need to know.
Just know I was here. Y'all just know I was here first.
I mean, kind of.
Before he...
Yeah, be quiet. I love you. I need to do better, and I do need to do better in a lot of areas of my life. But I know that. You know what I'm saying?
At least you know.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know.
We love a self-aware king.
You are so funny. Listen, the goal is to leave a lasting imprint on their minds and their hearts. We pray you've been indelibly marked. I don't know. I don't even know why I looked in that camera. That mug went out.
Oh,
after
the
story got
formed. Tell me?
I don't care about that one going out.
Oh.
That's my camera. It went out like